Penguin Random House Canada presents Scattered Minds, The Origins and Healing of Attention Deficit Disorder by Gabor Maté, MD. Read for you by Daniel Maté.
For my mother, Judith Lovey Maté, and for my late father, Andor Maté, and for my own family, Ray, Daniel, Aaron, and Hannah. Action has meaning only in relationship, and without understanding relationship, action on any level will only breed conflict. The understanding of relationship is infinitely more important than the search for any plan of action. J. Krishnamurti. Acknowledgements. I owe thanks to all of the following. Dr. John Ratey gave friendly encouragement, and his frank critique of my first draft was bracing and salutary. He also helped keep me abreast of current neuroscientific findings. The intellectual debt I owe to Dr. Alan Shore and Dr. Daniel J. Siegel will be evident to readers of this book. I was fortunate to attend their lectures on infant-parent relationships and brain development in Seattle in 1996. Their forward-looking work gave substance to my own intuitive views and helped ground them in the literature of brain research and neuropsychology. Diane Martin at Knopf, Canada, has made an indispensable contribution to the completion of this manuscript. She has spared the reader much unnecessary eye strain. I came to look forward to reading her astute commentary and to positively enjoy cutting when she said cut, changing when she said change. I cannot imagine receiving more sensitive and sensible editorial advice. Deborah Brody at Dutton in New York saw the possibilities in this work right from the beginning and has maintained a clear vision of the direction it needed to take. I had feared working with two editors would be a chore. It turned out to be a pleasure. Denise Bukowski shaped a long and unwieldy book proposal into publisher-friendly form. Copy editor Allison Reed's expert and attentive work greatly enhanced the flow of the text without in any way detracting from its meaning. My sister-in-law, Noni Maté, was the first to read the original several opening chapters. Her criticism was invaluable. Murray Kennedy also gave helpful feedback. Dr. Michael Hayden gave his time and expertise to help clarify my understanding of genetics. Betsy Jo Spicer serendipitously started it all by inviting me to hear her story. Trish Crawford steered me in the right direction to find the neuroscientific research on brain development. Many adults with ADD and parents of ADD children have taught me by candidly sharing with me the stories of their lives. I am grateful to four people whom I consider my teachers: the psychotherapist Andrew Feldmar, the developmental psychologist Dr. Gordon Neufeld, the psychiatrist Dr. Margaret Weiss, and the family therapist Dr. David Freeman. The influence of all four is in these pages. My friend Maria Oliviero, RN, kept my office going through my successive absences as I wrote Scattered Minds, and, more remarkably yet, manages to keep it organized even when I am there. Ray, my life partner and soulmate, has shared the years of struggle, sorrow, laughter, learning, and love that went into creating much of the raw material for this book. She has also worked as my most stringent editor. Time and time again, her insightful comments helped me get closer to the heart of what I was trying to say. Without her loving support, this book could not have become a reality. Finally, I must express my gratitude toward my three children, Daniel, Aaron, and Hannah, who have taught me more perhaps than they should have had to, and who have warmly supported the realization of my long-time desire to become an author. Preface. Scattered Minds, originally published 24 years ago, launched my authorial career. It was written shortly after I was diagnosed with ADHD myself. There was good reason this was my first completed book. Until I had come to terms with the puzzlingly erratic functioning of my own mind, I could never be organized and consistent enough to finish such a big project. And there was also a powerful motivation. I instinctively knew and wanted to share with others that a new perspective on this mysterious condition was required, one that went beyond the simplistic genetics equals biology ideology that to this day continues to color medical thinking on questions of mental health. As I soon found, this outlook aligned with the latest science, and my subsequent works have expanded on that awareness. Voluminous evidence emerging in the past 2 decades has buttressed this book's basic scientific and philosophical stance. Simply put, to fully comprehend and account for the complex psychological, behavioral, emotional, and biological dynamics that the acronyms ADHD or ADD represent, we must look at the interrelational nature of the human brain and mind as affected by the contexts of family and society. Narrow genetic explanations, devoid of science, leave individuals and families far short of what is needed for healing. If DNA does play a predisposing role in many cases, it is not a determinant one. I'm often asked, by not genetic, do you mean ADD is not biological? The question reflects a misperception. Everything, ultimately, is biological. The issue, as the past decades of brain research have confirmed, is that the environment, saliently the emotional and social environment, exerts decisive influences both on the physiological development of the brain and the shaping of the human mind. More and more evidence continues to emerge, showing the negative impact of familial and societal stress on the brains, attention spans, and emotional self-regulation of young human beings, especially of genetically sensitive children. Hence, this book encompasses the complex interaction of culture, family dynamics, and innate temperament as they affect our psychology and neurophysiology. Such a view recognizes the capacity of the human organism for fresh and positive development at any age, given the right understanding and a compassionate approach to children and adults, to parents and families. The good news is that it is never too late to promote healthy brain and emotional development, as I can personally attest. I cannot claim to have cured my ADD/ADHD tendencies. For example, I'm still past master at misplacing things without budging from the spot, or, say, of losing books, footwear, or electrical toothbrushes on my travels. My most recent accomplishment was to leave my indispensable laptop on a Swissair flight at the onset of a long European speaking tour. 5 internationally published books later, however, I can report that I am much more adept at completing tasks, achieving my goals, and, above all, of accepting myself without shame and self-recrimination, much more at ease with myself. I took medications with benefit when I wrote Scattered Minds. Over 2 decades later, for my most recent, much longer, and much more demanding work, I did not have to. That Scattered Minds continues to be read in Canada, the US, the UK, and in many other countries and languages attests to its power to address the ever-burgeoning crisis in mental health, including that of children internationally. The diagnosis of this condition continues to increase from Quebec to China. According to one report, in Germany, ADHD diagnosis rates rose 381% from 1989 to 2001. In the United Kingdom, prescriptions for ADHD medications rose by more than 50% in 5 years to 657,000 in 2012, up from 420,000 in 2007. Consumption of ADHD medications doubled in Israel from 2005 to 2012. At the same time, the medicalized approach to treatment, with stimulant pharmaceuticals as the mainstay, has revealed both its limitations and its hazards. In the US, for example, the number of emergency room visits related to prescription stimulant misuse among people ages 18 to 34 increased to 23,000 in 2011, from 5006.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?